Nigeria loses a lot of territory to ocean encroachment every year. And in a country where ownership and management of land has become premium, discussing this very interesting subject today, joining us in the studio is Mr. Ere Wakedei Davidson. He's the director of the Climate Change Ministry of Environment in Bayelsa State. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, welcome. First of all, I said this while we were off air, but for those who might not be very conversant with the term of encroachment and exactly how it's affecting the state, can you explain to us what is going on and how important it is for everyone to know?
Okay, ocean encroachment or sea level rise, as we may call it, it's as a result of increases in the volume of sea level around the shoreline communities, and this naturally creates an inward pressure, and where areas that are previously known to have fresh water can start experiencing saline water, and that build up inwards is what we call ocean encroachment.
Okay. And is it right to say that the cause of these ocean encroachment, one of the things they said that has exacerbated it, is the increased exploration for oil?
It's actually a global phenomenon.
Okay.
It's not just a local issue. It is a known fact that the polar caps are melting, and the global temperatures are rising. And as a result of this increases in global temperature, average global temperatures, the melting collapse caps are increasing the volume of water, global water. And therefore, naturally, water tends to find its level. And so, due to this increased volume of water, a build-up of water, those areas that are downstream will naturally taste the impact. And the first taste of impact of sea level rises will be coastline communities.
Okay.
And exactly how does this affect the coastline communities? What are the people experiencing on the coastlines? And how long has it been going for? And what are some of the solutions to stop, personal solutions for the reversal of this oceanic encroachment?
It's, we need to invest in adaptation technologies and mechanisms. We need to invest in structures. We need to also educate our people to at least reduce the scale of impact they are witnessing. Sometimes we need advocacy, because naturally the mangrove forests act as a buffer. So on the upsurge of ocean encroachment, but when you begin to decapitate the mangrove forests, of course, and that is what the people are dependent on. But unfortunately, you decapitate that, you are giving a free course to the rising sea to impact on coastline communities. So one of the advice we have to give as way of solution is to make robust advocacy, and also perhaps we have to also invest on alternative livelihood for the people, so that those who are heavily forest dependent may have to find some other sources of energy, sources of livelihood, so that they will not push on the forest that is acting as a defense for them. But then, of course, sea level rise is a global thing, and for the government to at least build resilience in coastline communities, we have to put some structures in place. Holland is just like our own terrain, and they are below sea level, but they've been able to build dikes and all that around, and able to limit the impact of ocean surge.
Okay. Well, I was reading an article this morning that said that the residents of the communities near the Atlantic Ocean and coastlines of Bayelsa were appealing to the federal government to save them. They said their ancestral lands were being submerged. But strangely enough, this appeal you think was more recent. It was in 2016. So I want to find out, what is it that is slowing us down? Why are we not going beyond talk to action? You said maybe we may need to provide them with alternative source of livelihood. I would say certainly we need to provide them, because unless you give people an alternative, what then do you want them to live off?
There is so much expected from government, particularly with the level. There's need for deliberate policy. There's need for a deliberate policy to salvaging coastline communities from the impact of sea level rise. It is actually because of the costs involved. It's not something a state government can just handle. I have always advocated a synergy between the state government and the federal government and the multinational companies. There should be some level of collaboration and partnership to addressing these issues, because the volume of money, cash required to address these issues is so much. Only for a single community, I think for a quick one, let me quickly advocate that we should start building muster points, communities, so that whenever these impacts occur, there should be a safe haven for people to run to. Today we have the Eco-Atlantic City in Lagos State, and the city was built on the sea. So we too, in Bayelsa, they are everywhere in Bayelsa, the coastline communities, all the KFS communities, so we can build, spots where we can call muster points, where, the impact becomes so severe. People should have somewhere safe havens to run to. And these investments need deliberate policies have to be made to make this kind of investments, and then also build, dikes and walls, which are very expensive, of course. But then we have to start the state. I think there should be a deliberate policy to capture these things, black and white, in articles of government.
Very well said. Thank you so much for your passionate sharing with us this afternoon. Mr. Ere Wakedei Davidson, the Director of Climate Change for the Ministry of Environment. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.